Mossad, 6 lettres qui nourrissent bien des fantasmes et parfois aussi souvent pas mal de craintes. Traduisons le mot en français, l'institut, l'institution, il est déjà beaucoup moins terrifiant. Pour parler de cet institut pour le moins particulier, mon invité aujourd'hui est israélien, il a 47 ans, docteur en histoire de l'université de Cambridge, éditorialiste du quotidien Yediot Aharonot et chroniqueur au New York Times. Il est spécialiste des questions militaires sur lesquelles il a écrit déjà plusieurs livres. Son dernier vient tout juste d'être traduit en France. Il porte sur l'histoire des assassinats ciblés commandités par Israël. Bonjour Ronen Bergman.
Hi, thank you.
Shalom. Huit ans de recherche, environ 1000 pages. Comment vous avez travaillé sur cette histoire du Mossad?
It took me 8 years. I interviewed 1,000 people. 1,000 interviewees from prime ministers, ministers of defense, chiefs of staff, to the actual operatives and assassins of the Mossad and the other parts of the Israeli intelligence community. Many of them, luckily fortunately for me, I would say, forgot in their private possession a lot of classified information before retiring, and they shared these documents with me.
Alors pourquoi ces hauts responsables du Mossad vous ont parlé à vous, Ronen Bergman?
They did it because it's easier for Israelis, sometimes hard for non-Israelis to understand. First, in Israel, it's a country where everything is secret, but everybody are talking all the time. It's a small place. Second, and more important, what is seen in other countries as maybe controversial, participation in targeted killing operations. I am in France here in the last few days with the great people of the publishing house. We have been meeting with journalists and public, and I will say, how come Israel was involved in these crimes, meaning targeted killings? From the point of view of Israel, these are not crimes. These are the necessary weapons and the necessary operations that should have been done in order to keep Israel safe and Israel's life and Israel's national security safe. And the people participated in that after so many years in the twilight zone of secrecy. They really want their story to come out. They told me, I'm telling to you, I'm revealing to you things that I never told my wife.
They needed the light. They wanted to have
they wanted to make
the light
sure
finally.
That their footprint is set upright in history. And sometimes not all of them were so keen to speak.
You tricked them.
So I did to them, tricking is a too harsh word, but I did to them the one thing that I think makes all Israelis furious. I told them that someone else took credit for their operation. That usually solved the problem. For Israeli to know that someone stole the credit for his operation, that's the worst that can happen. It's like, in Hebrew it's called fryer. Fryer is the highest level of sucker.
Pigeon.
It's just unbelievable. He told you that he was running that operation way beyond enemy lines. Now he will tell you the truth.
Il y a un autre personnage central dans l'histoire du Mossad, c'est Meïr Dagan. Est-ce que vous pouvez nous en dire quelques mots?
So Meir Dagan was born on the floor of a frozen train that took his parents back from their exile in Siberia to Poland, where they came from, and they fled just before the Nazis started the extermination. When they came back, they found no one. Everybody were killed. But the neighbor came and said, the Nazis, the Gestapo, ordered me to take pictures of the Jews before they were taken. And they never asked the film. And the father of Meir took the film and developed the pictures and found a picture of his father, so Meir Dagan's grandfather, just before he was killed. And Meir Dagan, when he became the chief of the Mossad after being prominent commander of special operations for many years. 2002, Ariel Sharon appointed Dagan to be the chief of the Mossad. And he said to him, to Dagan, Meir, do you recall these times in the 70s when I was the chief of the Southern Command and you were 26 years old, appointed to fight counterterrorism? Dagan was considered to be a very, I would say, aggressive officer working undercover as an Arab, Fauda, the real style, the real thing, in Gaza, killing many terrorists. So when he was appointed chief of Mossad, Sharon told him, Meir, I want a Mossad with a dagger between the teeth. And the first thing that Dagan did was to go to Mossad's chief office, his new office, and put on the wall behind him a picture of black and white photograph of his grandfather with his hand in the air and a terrified look, and two Gestapo officers pointing their gun at him. And Dagan used to show that photograph to everyone coming to his office. So his people from Mossad, commanders. I heard the story from Michael Hayden, who was the chief of the NSA and the CIA, who came to see Dagan, and Dagan showed him the photograph and said, you see this guy? This is my grandfather, Dov Ehrlich, at the Polish ghetto of Lokov, 1942, just seconds before the Gestapo bastard shot him death. And I am here as chief of the Mossad, and we are here to make sure that this will never happen again. Jews will never kneel, and there will never be a second annihilation. When you have these lessons at the back of your mind, and every decade, every generation in the history of Israel, after Israel was established, the enemy, the nemesis of Israel, tries to destroy it. So either Nasser of Egypt, who said he will destroy every target south of Beirut, or Saddam Hussein, who said he's going to burn down half of Israel, or Mahmoud Ahmadinejad, who said he's going to destroy Al-Hay'a Suyuniya, meaning the Zionist entity. When you have all of these in the lessons of the Holocaust in the back of your mind, you are left with one choice. Rise and kill first. Which is the name of the book.
Selon vous, quelle est l'opération la plus réussie du Mossad? Eichmann?
No. Eichmann is an operation that got the Mossad famous. And it has a symbolic value of two things. One, setting the legend of the Mossad. The myth, the legend, that here is a very efficient, determined, proactive, lethal when needed, Israeli intelligence service that can get to everyone all day, all over the world, and does what needed.
So
the other one is a myth, which if you read the book, you'll see it's just a myth, that the Mossad took revenge against all Nazis or Nazi war criminals. That's not true. The Mossad satisfied with Eichmann, and that's it. Because the Mossad wanted to confront national security challenges. Current, not chase old Nazis in South America, as important as it was. But the Mossad decided on purpose and got the permission and the confirmation from the Israeli prime ministers not to chase Nazi criminals, because they had other challenges. Now you ask, what is the most important operation of Mossad? The assassination of Imad Monir, the chief of Hezbollah. On the 12th of February 2008, Mossad and CIA were ready to take out Imad Monir.
He wasn't alone.
He was walking from the Iranian safe house in Damascus, and they saw him, and they were just about to press the button, and then someone says, no, stop, he's not alone, he's hugging with the man. Then someone looked at the monitor and said, oh, this is not just a man, this is Good Dog. Good Dog was the code name for Qasem Souleimani.
The one with the American
shield. Yeah, the commander of the Al-Quds force who was running the front against Israel and the United States and all the West since 1998. So this was 2008, February 12. And then someone in Mossad said, oh, wonderful, let's take them both. They called Meïr Dagan, who was sitting Shiva for his mother in Rosh Pina. And he called Prime Minister Olmert, and Olmert said, no, stand down. I promised President Bush that we will get the help from the CIA if I comply with his term, no collateral damage. No one else but Imad Monir is killed. And because of that decision, that day, fulfilling the promise to President Bush, the same Souleimani, good dog, lived for another 12 years.
Je vais vous poser une question simple. Est-ce que c'est le Mossad qui a tué Yasser Arafat?
Ariel Sharon went to see President Bush, March 2004. And the president said, Mr. Prime Minister, we heard that you are planning to kill Yasser Arafat. Please, I want you to promise me that you will not. He forced Sharon to say, I promise you I will not kill Yasser Arafat. And Uri Dan, one of his Sharon closest allies, wrote in his memoir, Sharon will be remembered in history as the person who assassinated Yasser Arafat without actually killing him. I think you can deduct the rest from what I said.
Il n'y a pas que des victoires. Le Mossad n'a pas connu que des réussites. Il y a aussi de gros échecs. Un de ces gros échecs, vous dites que c'est de ne pas avoir vu venir la vague verte, la vague de l'islamisme.
The Shin Bet, the Israeli Domestic Secret Service, they were the ones who supported the establishment of Hamas. People don't understand, but they didn't see the danger, so they said, well, maybe these clerics, the social workers and all, Sheikh Yassin, maybe they can be a counter force to the PLO, to the secular PLO of Yasser Arafat. So they supported them. And when they realized that there is a great threat, a bigger threat, in these sort of nice clerics, it was already too late, and the phenomena was too big to stop it. And there's a quote in the book from the chief of the Shin Bet, Avi Dichter, who confessed, he says, we did not supply the citizen of Israel the safety belt that they deserve. But from that point, from the ashes, from the destruction, from the failure, rose a new generation of Israeli spies. The generation in which we are living now, that fought back fiercely, and for the time being, Toda Lael, is winning the war.
Une autre génération qui s'appuie sur plus ou moins les mêmes méthodes. Il y a un aspect moral dont qu'il faut évidemment évoquer. Le Mossad est une institution qui s'est développée largement à l'écart des institutions démocratiques d'Israël, à l'écart de la Knesset et même du contrôle des médias. Israël revendique souvent être la seule démocratie du Moyen-Orient. Est-ce que ça ne pose pas un problème? Est-ce qu'il n'y a pas là un hiatus?
Israel is the only democracy in the Middle East. But I do think that there's a problem. One of the reasons I wrote the book was because I do believe that Israel enjoys the best intelligence services in the world. Not just the best, almost the biggest. In total number, not per capita. The number of Israeli spies is second only to the number of American spies. In the Western world, the Israeli intelligence community is bigger than the French or the British or the Turkish or the Italian or all of them. Just bigger, much bigger. We are talking about tens of thousands of people dealing with espionage. And in contradiction to that, the institutionalized mechanism, the oversight committees, the scrutiny, the supervision of the political level over the intelligence services is very weak. And this is why I think we, journalists, authors, writers, historians, we have an obligation to step forward and do the work that other people do not do. We need to supervise as much as we can with our limit force.
Il y a une question que je dois vous poser. Est-ce que vous pensez que votre travail représente un danger ou met l'État d'Israël en danger?
No, not at all. I think that there are no real secrets in the sense that modus operandi or sources or special technology. There's none of this in the book. I think that the book is a sign for how strong is the one weapon, our main weapon. Israel's main weapon is not another exotic plan or tool for assassination. And it's not diamonds, and it's not Uzi submachine gun, and it's not even high-tech. Our secret and most important and powerful weapon is democracy. Is the fact that we are, like Ehud Barak once said, a villa in the jungle. All the rest is the derivative, is the fruit of us being a strong democracy with Jewish values. This is the most important thing. And the fact that we are able to come forward and write such a book, that I'm able to come here to your studio and speak with you about it, is an ample proof how strong Israeli democracy is. This will lead to all the rest.
Toda Rabba, Ronen, Toda.
Toda,
Je rappelle le nom de votre ouvrage, Lève-toi et tue. Le premier, ça paraît donc chez Grasset, l'histoire secrète des assassinats ciblés. À bientôt chez Academ.